Welcome to Bite Size Learning. I'm Jill. This is our part 2 of EdPuzzle. I love EdPuzzle because it makes my students' video viewing more interactive. It makes it active instead of passive, and it allows for me as the instructor to put in checkpoints so I can gauge their understanding. It also allows me to stop the video and put in some notes. So it can be really great for distance learning, for hybrid learning, and it can be a great tool for not only teaching, but when I want students to review material, I don't need to repeat it. I can send them back to the same material. But I really do love that I can put in checkpoints. I can gauge their understanding. They've watched the video and I see, hey, they've all got the same questions or the same, information that we need to review. I can tailor my lessons to that. So in today's bite, I'm going to talk about how I set up those questions within the video. All right, so there are a few options for adding content to my class for them to interact with. Now, if I look along the left-hand side under content, there's home. And what I see when I go to the home is some of the most recent content that is part of the EdPuzzle community. What I can see is some of the trending pieces, things that have been recently accessed. And there's a couple things to note in the difference. They always tell you the time, how long it is, and then you see beside the time a number and a little widget there. It tells you how many questions or content pieces are already there. And what's important there is if there's none, like over here, it's just a video. There's no questions, there's no pausing, there's no content. It tells you the title of the video, and then it tells you the educator who added the video to the EdPuzzle world and who added questions. So those are some keys there. You can see things that are trending. So those are things that they want to draw your attention to. As well, on the left-hand side, if you click on curriculum, what you can see is that the EdPuzzle team has curated videos under different content areas. There's elementary school, middle school, and for our purposes, I'm just going to click on the high school content piece. And it breaks down into the different curriculum areas. So if I click on science, it then goes into the different elements of science: chemistry, STEM, cool videos, earth science, science fairs, biologies. So I'm going to click on biology. If I go into biology, it then further breaks down the topics, so I can look that way. Cell structure. I go on to cell structure. There is another further breakdown, but then there are some videos here, and I can see what's already created. And I can preview it by clicking on it. I can watch the video, complete with the stops and the questions. If I look at the side, I can see the different types of questions. So here they're open-ended questions. So if I want to do that, I can see those pieces. I have a couple options. I can edit it, I can copy it, I can assign it to my class, and I can share a preview. So those are all things that are there. There's also all the different other versions of this. So this version is the EdPuzzle curriculum team's version. These are the questions they created. Then we can see different educators have added different questions. So what's a good practice? Hit copy. Then you've got your own. They've copied the content. And if I go to that, I click watch, I'm going to see my copy, and I can then edit it, update it, change it. And with editing it, I can add questions, I can add a voiceover, I can also delete questions that I don't want. So I have that capability there with the variety, and I can see where they happen. And just to go through and watch and edit, I can hit play.
To us modern folk, we tend to take for granted the existence of cells and the idea that all living things are made up of cells, and we, as human beings, as living organisms, we're made up of many, many, many cells.
And then it shows me where the stop is, and I can see the question: what are all living things made of? I can look at that, and I can choose to either continue on. I can add another question or a note here. I can hit finish when I'm ready to be finished with that video. And then my options are I can assign it, share a share a video. I can make this public or I can make it private, up to me. Now, if I want to assign the video, I go assign. I have a start date. The start date, one of the things I don't like is the default time is always 12 a.m. I like to make my default, I like to update the time to match the start of class, just so that it's not assigning them stuff in the middle of the night. I don't feel comfortable with that. So if my class starts at 8:30, I can make that time 8:30 so it's available then. Right there. I can also plan ahead and do it into the future if I want, and I can add a due date. And so the due date, again, maybe I want it due tomorrow. It makes 11:59 p.m. For me, I like to make my due date times connect with the end of the school day. So let's go with 2:59 p.m. and I've got that there. I've chosen my date. I do need to hit save or it's not there. I can prevent skipping. That way students can't skip a question, which I think is helpful. And I can turn on closed captionings or I can turn it off. I like to turn it on. It just gives another options there. And I'm going to add that to my practice class. And I can assign it to all or I can assign it manually just to some. So I'm going to hit assign. And that is there. Now,